Hello everyone, this is Mr. Big T Anderson, 52 Pickup by Fudgyokra. If I pronounced that correctly, wonderful. And if you're new here, both the art and the fanfiction are not mine. I'm just trying to make things look pretty. I'm trying to give credit as well with the title, as you can see, as well as links down below. I cannot give artist's name right now because I'm actually trying to record first because, once again, not really the brightest man I am. But as you've seen in the past, I'm giving artists the name in the title, as well as the links down below with the fanfiction writer and the story. There's also art and the artists section, so full credit is given. I'm not saying any of this is mine except for the schmucky duck voice. That's me. Anyway. Loading. You have a moment where you're just like, okay, and I'm doing something, and we lost it. Blue screen. And we're reading stuff. Right. 52 pickup. Let's begin, shall we? It's not a true recording until something happens and I lose where I'm at. Anyway, 52 pickup. He was looking at Harley from the other side of the glass. The safe side, or so the asylum staff claimed. There wasn't really a need for him, so to speak, so he did not. Harley, for her part, did all the talking for him. "Hiya, Bats," she said sweetly, crossing her legs at the knee and resting her hands daintily on her thighs. "I don't suppose you're here just to visit little old me." Bruce remained silent and stark as always. "Oh, the eye? Yeah, it's pretty bad, but you ought to see him." The woman grinned, split lip be damned. A second later, however, the expression dimmed into something more serious. "I'm done with that freak anyway. So if you want to know where he went when he busted out of here, I'll tell you." Slowly, Bruce nodded. He looked her in the eye, but the moment their gazes locked, she looked up at the ceiling and sighed. "But if you don't mind my asking, why'd you come to me first?" When she looked back down, it wasn't quite at him, but Bruce still felt as though he were being scrutinized. Talk. Was all he offered her. So gentlemanly. She returned it evenly, but she wasn't surprised by it. "He's in that stupid sewer outside the graveyard. He's probably on his way to petition Croc or some shit. Maybe he'll beat the shit out of him, too." She snorted and leaned back on her dingy mattress, crossing her arms over her chest. "Sewer?" Bruce asked, not necessarily to confirm, but to dredge up whatever else Harley knew about the Joker's whereabouts. She was a chatterbox, especially so now that she was angry. He could see that the emotions burning in her eyes, and it reminded him exactly of why they got along so well outside of her criminal exploits. They had a shared sense of attachment to the Joker, and it wreaked havoc on them both. "Sewer," she repeated in a lazy drawl. Now that she was becoming disinterested, Bruce felt as though he'd gotten what he'd come for, and turned around to leave. Before he got far, her voice called out to him, "Hey, Batman?" It sounded like a sincere beginning to a question he was afraid of answering. He'd seen it coming because, despite what Joker would say, Harley was a smart person and she was better at gauging emotions than either of them combined. "Yes, Harley?" he asked once he'd prepared himself for the inevitable. She sucked noisily on her teeth for a moment, which drove Bruce crazy. Not that he'd say so. He had a sneaking suspicion she knew it anyway. She knew a lot more than she let on. "Harley," he said. "The difference between you and me is that you hit him back, and that's why he loves you more than he ever could me." Bruce curled his lip, but didn't rebuke the claim. Harley continued almost boredly, checking her nails as she spoke. "It's kind of fucked up when you think about it, but I know you love him too." Again, Bruce did not reply. "I know he confuses violence with love, but you give it to him either way, I guess." Here, Bruce turned away from the woman again. He heard her shuffling around in her cell, but he couldn't bear to look at her anymore. Something about hearing the truth out loud made him more uneasy than having it kept under lock and key as it had been previously. Harley whistled a brief tune to herself as if she had just remembered, and added, "Oh, and when you guys get married and run off to have little bat clown babies, I want to be the godmother." He could feel, without even looking at her, that she wasn't smiling. Noted. He muttered, taking purposeful strides away from her, and before he left, he paused with a palm on the ward door. "Harley, thank you for your help." "You're welcome, Mr. Batman, sir." Harley laughed at her false salute high and tight. It was a sound that rang in Bruce's ears, drowning out everything else, even as he was speeding down the road in his car, far, far away from Arkham. Over the years, Bruce had learned something about laughter. In Gotham City, it never meant something was funny. Between Harley and Joker, and even himself, Bruce knew how deep that sickness went. Deep enough that it meant love and hatred, all in one mouthful of noise. You just don't forget the sound of grief like that. Alright, hopefully you enjoyed that. Sorry about the dog barking in the background. I can't do much about it, and it won't listen to me. So, sorry. But hopefully you still enjoyed the reading. You guys know what to do. You have 3 accounts. All that fun thing to do. If you're all that internet to do. Can you do internet? You can subscribe here. You can go and give the happies to the writer, and go give the happies to the artist. All the internet for you to do. In any case, hopefully you enjoyed. If you have a comment, please do so below, and have a good one. Ta-ta for now.